Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Breath of Fire 2. Last episode, we rescued Princess Nina and Nina from the infamous Chaka Gang, while looking for the lady thief what framed our buddy Bosch. We shall return our lady Nina back to her home castle, because it's the nice thing to do, and because maybe we'll get some more clues there. What will happen in this next episode? Joining us today to find out is Skyzo. How are you doing, buddy?
Hello YouTube, and I'm doing well.
Now, as I said with these hunting spots, the proper strat, or at least the best one I've found, is to try to get these guys to run straight away from you and into some sort of obstacle like that rock. And if you've got them pinned, you want to keep mashing that attack button with Lyn. Well, don't mash it. Just tap it relatively slowly. If you mash it, there's a chance that the second hit won't register and the animal will get away from you. Anyways, there are new monsters around here, but they all boil down to split your attacks with Ryu and Cat, and then have Nina use Jolt. That won't generally kill them unless you get a crit, but 2 regular melees won't generally kill them either, so we're just kind of hoping that we score lucky crits on at least one of them, and if not, well, you take a bit of damage. No big deal. I mean, we do have a heal spell after all. Also, we just learned the slow spell, which is going to be really important for a boss coming up in 3 episodes. Status ailments aren't usually very good because enemies only have 1 global resistance stat to everything, so either they're not affected at all, or there are better spells to cast in their stead, like say, instant death or paralysis. But in that one specific edge case, we have a use for them.
Right, and okay, I'll keep it in mind. You know, we'll find it useful, I'm sure. And I'm not sure what the use for those hunting minigames are.
Well, it's mainly for getting roasts, which sell for 200 zenny. I've been keeping the roasts for the benefit of those who haven't been hunting them, because money is very tight if you don't get any. But if you do get some, be sure to sell them to make your purchasing needs a little bit easier.
Right, so essentially you can grind them.
If you want to, I mean, that's slow, but they have a chance of spawning after each random encounter, so you could always get lucky. The spawn rate is 50% after all.
Fair enough.
Also, our next plot point. A princess of Windia that was born with black wings of the purest night, which means the destruction of Windia, and so she is to be put to death. Fortunately, our Princess Nina has purple wings and Mina has white wings, so not a problem relevant to us, but if we happen to find some gender-bent Sephiroth running around, we probably ought to warn him. Or kill him ourselves.
I imagine that will come into play later too.
Oh jeez, I really hope not. You see the remake? Cloud needs a restraining order or something against that dude, cause wow. Also, if you'll remember from last episode, Nina was studying abroad in our hometown, and was away from the castle for that reason. Now we're gonna reunite with her family, and I'm sure it's gonna be a touching scene. Just warms my heart. Also, this is the second time that Mina has referred to us as her entourage. I don't know if that's an intentional choice, literal translation, or... Wait, what? Did the queen just say Nina wasn't her daughter?
It's awkward.
She is! Nina's agreeing with her! Skyzo... Mina... Yeah, she's pretty certain she's her sister. What's happening here?
Not sure. Could be anything. Could be like an imposter or something.
Really? Our dear Nina an imposter?
I don't know.
Or are you saying the queen is an imposter?
Oh, the queen. I meant the queen, yes.
Oh, the plot thickens. Maybe she's another demon, just like August and Joker.
I wouldn't put it past the plot.
Neither would I. That said, it still leaves the question of why Nina is going along with it. Maybe it's just like the Joker gang all over again. Anyways, it looks like Nina's gonna explain the sitch to us, so let's see if we can confirm those theories of ours.
Right.
Yeah, Windians tend to be very paranoid towards outsiders. That's why their very entrance is an elaborate labyrinth with dungeon music.
Huh.
But yeah, despite her wings clearly being purple, everyone in this game treats it as though they're black, so she's actually the cursed princess, and actually what the pastor last episode was talking about. Anyways, now for something completely different. Sten, the monkey!
Oh, is this the town attraction?
It would appear so. He's attracting perfectly ordinary humans to be his volunteers, but is there really such a thing in this game? Is there really, Skyzo?
I don't know, it's a little iffy on that.
I mean, geez, next thing you know, Ryu's gonna turn out to be a dragon like all those other blue-haired guys in Breath of Fire 1. That was weird.
I wouldn't put it past it.
You don't think they would repeat that same plot beat in a game called Breath of Fire 2, do you?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, exactly. Capcom never recycles the plots in any of its franchises, nope. Nothing but originality from those guys. That's what they're known for. Also, Ryu appears to be in a void somewhere, and Sten, it doesn't look as though he knows how to get us back. He knows how to make us disappear, but I guess he forgot the other side of that equation.
Oh, maybe this is the sequence that you were talking about last episode, huh?
What sequence would that be again? Just for clarification?
The one where you can only play as one character? I think the one with purple wings.
Not quite. That will come in due time. In due time.
Right.
Also, don't you love this juxtaposition? We just went through Nina's family drama where they basically disowned her. And now it's time for tea time with Sten the magic monkey.
It's a very strange whiplash.
Indeed. Though I guess I don't know where else he would join you. Well, at least we get Ryu's only line of dialogue in the game. Ugh!
Is that really his only line?
It's his only line as an adult. Well, actually he has a second one in like the very, very, very end. Something right. And he has a few lines of dialogue as a child. I don't know, it's weird. They do it Dragon Quest V style. Actually, I don't know if a lot of people have played that one.
Right. And it looks like he's about to be back.
No, he's still gonna be called Ryu. This isn't a Bunyan Baba situation.
So he was just buried. That's strange.
Yeah, that dirty monkey knew what he was doing all along.
Oh, but why would he do that? I guess it's a trick of his.
Well, perverts are kinda common in Japanese media. He just wanted Ryu out of the way so he could date Lean and Nina. It's not a great thing about Japanese cartoons, but it's the way it is. Also, what is Lynn's deal with panty thieving? I mean, she doesn't wear any. Unless someone stole her panties. That's why she hates them so much.
you'd think she wouldn't care because she's not even wearing anything, so it's a little odd.
No. See, you're not getting it. She cares because she's not wearing anything. Oh wait, I know what happened. It was the director of human resources. That thong we saw him wearing, it might not have been his. That might be why it was so small on him. See? We're figuring out all kinds of mysteries today. But yeah, I don't think we have anything more to fear from Sten, because... See? Look at him! He is nothing more than their humble servant. The simian that simps, you might say.
This monkey character is weird.
Well, if it helps, the characters agree with you.
Like, it's so out of place, it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good scene. I might have placed it a little later.
Also, the monkey's following us.
He just joined our party.
Yeah, I mean, of all the people that would join, I didn't think a monkey would.
Well, enough of the monkey. Let's focus on the girl with bat wings. It turns out she went left. Left is where Capitan is. So now we have to go to Capitan because we are desperately following up on any lead we possibly can in this fetch quest of an early game.
Alright.
Also, up here we have 100 zenny and a wooden staff from both of these dressers here. But perhaps more significantly, we have Day. Should have looked up how to pronounce his name before, but... Anyways, there's something called the tenant mechanic. You see Township, where Bosch is hiding out at? It eventually becomes a whole town due to a series of wacky events. And once it does, you can recruit these guys called tenants. And they all have proper nouns and everything, like a Day and this woman to the left called Beretta. And most of the NPCs you recruit have some sort of use or another. Like, you can buy stuff from them, they give you free stuff, they're a portable bank, everything like that. And Day is one of the most universally useful ones. So I'm not going to take advantage of him partially because he's so useful, but if you're not putting any restrictions on yourself, keep that guy in mind for the future. But back to the present. We want to buy a longsword without replacing Ryu's silver dagger, because we want to give that to Sten, because there's no better weapon for him. We want to get one piece of chainmail for Lean or Cat. We want to get 2 escutcheons for Ryu and Sten, and a glass helmet for Lin. We don't really have the money for anything else. Nor do we really have the money to equip Nina with anything good. So, yeah, make sure you keep the ranger suit on Ryu here. You see how he has exactly 32 vigor and how it drops if we put on the chainmail?
Yeah.
That is only barely enough to outspeed the boss coming up next episode, so it's really important that you keep that on Ryu.
Alright.
But yeah, regarding Nina, we just kinda have to put her in the back and hope that she doesn't die or anything like that. It's not too big of a deal if she does, because she's probably gonna die against the boss next episode anyway, but still. Every little bit of experience is nice for the future. Also go into that tent to refresh the step counter. Not a huge difference, but a difference all the same. And on the way there, I'm gonna force myself to go into all the most dangerous encounters. And sometimes that'll involve the use of save states for when I have trouble squeezing all the new encounters out of one dungeon. Anyway, here's our first, the 2 poison movers. And as you have just seen, they can poison everyone in your party, and are also fairly bulky. If you run into them, you'll want to have your melee attackers focus all on the same target while Nina casts Jolt. That's about the quickest way I can find of killing these guys. Then after that, you just have to hope that they don't score any 1.5% crits, because those technically can kill. Not likely to, but still.
Right, so as a recap, the poison doesn't do anything in battle, right?
Right.
Okay. I thought it did. Like, usually you see poison, I don't know, it's like a percentage of the HP that's deducted.
Well, fortunately, this game was generous enough to not have that be the case. It's just 1 HP for every step you take outside of battle. Still irksome, though, because, you know, you're not generally gonna meet poison movers, so you don't want to waste a bunch of antidotes over preparing for them, since after this point, antidotes are never gonna be needed ever again. So it brings up this weird situation where a bunch of people could get poisoned, but they probably won't, which is why I splurged on herbs before leaving instead. That way, even if something bad did happen, I could counter it. Also, here's another deadly encounter, the killer Goblins. They all outspeed you, and more importantly, they have something called the Weaken spell, which halves your defense. They're not likely to use it, it's about 25% each, but all debuffs fall under a certain element, and we don't have any armor that resists that element yet. Yeah, they did it right there. My best recommendation is that you split your attacks with all your melee attackers, and then use Jolt. That'll get them all in one round. And yeah, you see how one of them went from doing 9 damage to Ryu to doing 36?
Yeah, that was a little ridiculous.
Yeah, like, I'm telling you, raw stats matter for a lot, especially in the early game.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, just halving your defense is just crazy for an enemy like that.
And the weird thing is that after a certain threshold, attack actually starts to matter less. Like, I think it's once the difference between your power and the enemy's defense is 99 or more. Then attack only does 0.75 for every point of attack you get, but in the early game, it's basically 1-to-1.
Right, interesting.
Also keep these guys in mind for later on, for a bonus episode. Just remember them. They're monster hunters. They're fairly cruel, and their way of living is to hunt creatures and sell them for profit. We're gonna get back to these guys later, just keep them in mind.
I imagine we'll be fighting them?
Oh, Skyzo, you know better than to pump me for spoilers.
Just saying.
All in due time, friend. All in due time. But as far as spoilers go, I consider you one of my viewers. Anyways, these guys are the same as the killer goblins, except they're slightly bulkier in exchange for having a weakness to fire. So what I do for these guys is I have Sten and Nina target different guys with Flare, and then I have Ryu and Kat target those same guys as well, so you'll kill 2 of them by the time the round ends. And once again, that'll generally get you through, because even if they do cast statuses, they mostly just cast useless ones like slow. Or at least useless ones to them, because battles aren't going to last long enough for half speed to do much for them.
Right, I like the design of them.
So do I. Like, the monster designs are really neat in this game.
Yeah, it's a combination of bizarre and cool.
Yeah. Also, the very last one, and probably my most dreaded, the Lizardmen. Instead of having your defense, they double each other's offense, which can also lead to some ridiculously powerful hits. And also, I apparently forgot to heal before the battle. Probably partially because of poison. I was hesitant to restore to full, but still careless. But yeah, that last guy did 8 damage. Watch what this guy does. 47.
Oh yeah, that's very frightening. Essentially anything that can boost its own offenses like that is very dangerous.
Fortunately, you basically have a guaranteed strat for always killing them in 2 turns. It's just a matter of whether or not they all gang up on the same guy.
Right.
And the reason Jolt did so much damage to them is because they're aquatic enemies. Those are weak to lightning attacks, so that's why it was so useful there, and also why I had Cat defend in the first round, because I knew Sten plus Ryu would be enough to kill 2 of them, and then Cat outspeeds shows she's able to kill the third one at the start of the second turn before he can get another attack off. That way she can spend the first turn defending.
It's a clever strategy.
Thank you. And that dresser I looked at had something called a Tolan or a token, depending on the translation. Do not pick it up, because there is no way of selling them, and they are effectively completely worthless. The only way to make use of them is to give up something else that's infinitely more useful. I'm not sure if you can store them in a bank, but yeah, avoid that closet. That does nothing but slow you down. Just like this guy Lacquer here, he's another potential township recruit, but he does nothing useful for you. He just paints your town a different color. So that's yet another thing you want to avoid. Unlike the Wisdom Seed, which boosts your AP, your current AP, not your max, by 20. That's gonna be brutally effective once Ryu learns a certain, spell, if you viewers know what I mean.
Right. This game has a nod history with items that you're not supposed to pick up, like it started the very first episode, I think.
Yeah. As silly as that shopping menu looked where I got 45 herbs, that is actually essential for this next episode, where we investigate this well that's supposedly gobbling up men, women, and children. What horrors will we find in there next episode? Find out next time on Breath of Fire 2. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and God bless y'all.
Alright, I'll see you later, YouTube.
Bye.